political turmoil that people were about to split. But when Tingane won the fight as a first world champion, he united all races.
A fine Wednesday in store voting tomorrow. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 9 degrees, peaking at 28. Pretoria 12 and 30. Vereeniging 9 and 27. Lerato Hofela, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 947. For more, click ewn.co.za.
#MSW. You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Coach Riviero has been able to allow Mfokeng to do his business. And if you missed a little bit of that, hey, Debza, thanks for reminding us.
Turn from Mfokeng. He's still going.
Listen, when a team is on fire, even if the reserves will come and give you a high five.
Mawesabata. Ibakabakali kuphindile lokho. Lathi nje. Ngo3. Ngiyakudabukela wena osasapota osiduma ngabani. Ngikoni bhakabhaka. Ngo3.
Yabona for the mere fact ukuthi iKaizer Chiefs isasenamadoda ayisupportayo. Leyo nto leyo umzekelo ukuthi amadoda awanayo inkinga yokukhomitha. Yabona mawufuna i-relationship eserious into ezolasta. Solo indoda esupport iKaizer Chiefs. Solo indoda esupport iKaizer Chiefs. Leyo ndoda ngikulahle ngisho kanzima manje. Leyo ndoda iyakwazi ukubekezela.
Charlie, I've got a very happy coach on the line.
Oh, yeah, man. That is a man thousand, you know. Clinton from my side, Charlie Peterson, the former CEO of Bloemfontein Celtic. You know,
Charlie, how are you, Charlie? It's been a while,
good, man. The second coach that won a cup of Bloemfontein Celtic in many, many years, Clinton Larsen.
Welcome, knockout.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Right, I guess excitement building up to my guest in studio tonight. Kass Naidoo is here already. Looking forward to that conversation. Do send us your WhatsApp voice notes, questions or comments. What an illustrious career she's had, man. Oh, so much to talk about, so much to catch up on. And I'm sure you also looking forward to speaking to her. I'm trying to think, when last did we have her in studio on any platform? My goodness, that's how busy she's been. Just glad she could make time this time around. Multi-award winning. Swept clean over the weekend at the SA Sports Awards. Hey, you're talking about SA Sports Awards, man. Hey. So when you talk about rewarding sporting excellence, it's no easy task. I mean, it's very tough, especially when one has to look across the plethora of codes of those who have stood head and shoulders above the rest for an entire season. Now, this past weekend, as I've mentioned, the SA Sports Award were hosted in Sun City. Hey, great to have them at the Super Bowl. Athletes, organizations were there in numbers, being rewarded for their exceptional exploits over the last year. Others, though, for the greatest service over the years. So one organization, though, that feels somewhat aggrieved to have missed out on some recognition that they believe that was worthy is Netball Federation. So you remember they hosted what was hugely a successful 2023 Netball World Cup last year, clinching some international awards over the course of that time. I don't know if you believe like they believe that they were wrongly snubbed, but somebody that feels that way is Netball South Africa President Cecilia Molokwane, who joins us live from Limpopo, hoping and praying that the line does survive and exist. Otherwise, we don't want to snub her on the phone. Netball SA President, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Robert, and how are you?
I'm fine. I'm worried about how you are.
No, I'm okay, Robert. I'm really fine. I always say things happen for a reason, and people have got their own different view and different things. However, we cannot keep quiet about some other things. We have to ask questions, and that we are answered that how do you win an international award and be in the world as the best event and not even get a single nomination just for the Federation of the Year. Not anything, but to say you have done well. You are the first female-led federation that has brought the World Cup into the country after 60 years. And you said last year that it was the year for women. I'm happy, and I want to congratulate Kass. Actually, I want to say long overdue. Kass did this G-Sport Award for a very long time. She was one of the women who did cricket for a very long time. Alone, she left cricket and then went back to cricket. I think she's one person who deserves the honors that she was given on the day, and most of the people that were given on the day. However, my question was, it was not about winning, but recognizing that nominate netball that has won an international award overseas, and in the world, to say you are the best event. Won it at the Holland Sports Industry Awards as the best event of the year. However, you couldn't even say netball. Let's nominate it as the Federation of the Year. But did you ask, though, because what it alludes to, though, from what I'm picking up, is that you were snubbed? Who do I ask? That's my question. The people at the SA Sports, isn't it? No. Who do I ask, Robert? Because if I have to ask about why is this one Miss South Africa, I know who is the panel. I know the panelist of Miss South Africa. We can write to say the panelist who was Robert, who was Kass, who was Cecilia, who was whoever. These are the panelists. It's not transparent. We don't know who's the panelist. Who's the panelist? So you don't know. I mean, you're the president of Netball SA. You don't even know who the panelists were for the SA Sports Awards. I don't know, and I don't think even Kass do know. Yeah. I don't think she does know. But I don't know who's the panel. In previous awards, would that information have been free? Would it have been out there? Would it have been to the public's consumption? What do you know previously, and why would it be so different this year around? I want to ask that question. You see, the same question you're asking is what I want to ask. What went wrong? Maybe we should ask what went wrong. Because to me, the thing is, it's not about an individual, it's about a federation. 2023 was declared a year of women's sport, unless my mind doesn't serve me well. It does. And we were accumulating as a country the women in sport who did well in 2023. And Robert, I didn't see a lot of women ascending the stage. What does it say? Because when you're marking, 30 years as it was the theme on the night, and we also, the Netball World Cup in Cape Town. We're not talking about how the Spar Proteas played or didn't play. We're talking about the hosting in the same way that South Africa hosted the FIFA World Cup in 2010. It had nothing to do with Bafana, whether they qualified for the last 16 or they didn't. Of course they didn't, but it still meant that we hosted one of the best World Cups ever. So in recognizing that, and I think I hear you when you say it's not about winning it, it's about at least being nominated and being recognized and being, mentioned in some way or the other. But it wasn't. So I ask again, have you tried reaching out to the minister himself? No, I haven't tried. I haven't done that. And I always say things when they are done for a reason, for a purpose. I don't know the reason. I don't know the purpose. Robert, I'm done fighting. I was just saying this because something needs to be said. To say it's not about Robert Marawa or it's not about Bongim Somi, who was leading the SPA protest, or Cecilia Molokwane, who is the president of Netball South Africa. It's about the netball family as such, to say women have done us proud in this country. Women brought the World Cup after 60 years, first time in this country. The only federation that has done a trophy tour in all 52 districts with this World Cup. People are crying. I can tell you now, people are trying to say the rugby has won the World Cup, but the trophy of the rugby never went to other provinces. They never saw it. And people are saying, netball has done this, netball has done that. Why don't just give them? It's not about winning. Winning is not everything, Robert. I've learned that. I was a player before. I was a coach before. Winning is not about everything. Recognition of saying, job well done, you have done it. You don't have to like me. You just have to recognize what I'm doing. So when you say you don't have to like me, do you believe that you've got enemies within? No, I don't want to say I've got enemies or anything. I'm just putting out a statement to say people don't have to like Robert Marawa, but people must look at what Robert Marawa delivers on the Robert Marawa show and then acculate that. You don't have to like Kass Naidoo, by the way. You don't have to be friends with Kass Naidoo, but give her credit that she is the one that came up with this sports for girls. Give her that credit. She deserves that credit. You don't have to like Kass, but give her that credit of saying, this is what we have done. I mean, after 30 years of democracy, are we still sitting with this? This is what I'm asking. To say, why don't we give recognition to those that deserve recognition? Not that anyone got the recognition didn't deserve it, but if it means you have to give 15 people recognition at the same time, do it. It doesn't have to be the winner is. It has to be people that have done well if they are the following. And I've asked the question before, and I'm still going to ask it, and I'm still going to ask it. I might not be like to say, who should do the sports awards? I've been asking this question for a very long time, by the way. To say, is it SASCOC? Because we all belong to SASCOC. Or is it government? Because government is a support structure.
Who do you believe should?
A topic for another day.
But let's give it a semi-topic now, if there's such a thing. Let's give it like a little bullet point right now. Who should host these awards then?
I believe, I don't know, it's my belief, it's my own opinion. I believe that SASCOC must do it. They know the federations, they work with the federations closely. As government, I believe they are the supporting structure to sports. Unless, if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. I'm human, I can be wrong, but I stand to be corrected. That's what I believe that government should support SASCOC in doing those things, because SASCOC are the ones that should be reliable to their federations, who are their affiliates. I cannot go to the minister right now or to the deputy minister or to DDG or DG and blame them, because we are affiliates to SASCOC. They are only supporting us, the federation.
The SASCOC president was there, and his job was there to hand out an award.
I'm saying that's my opinion.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying that in the event, because they were also celebrating 17 years of the awards and their existence and so on, which means that it's been an ongoing thing for the 17 years, whether people approve or disapprove. And awards are awards. People get them, others don't get them. There'll be talks about who should have gotten them, who shouldn't. But in coming back to your scenario, because I went and I checked up and I saw, Netball World Cup 2023. You were shortlisted in the following 4 categories of the Event of the Year, Social and Environmental, Sports Organization of the Year, African Excellence Award. That was for other industry awards. 2023 Holland Sports Industry Awards that were held in Turffontein at the racecourse in November last year, recognizing your groundbreaking initiatives, the visionary campaigns, innovative strategies within the sports business. It didn't end there. Netball World Cup 2023, also named as the best sporting event of the year 2023 at the Sports Business Awards in London. Those were the ones that were staged in London. And that is why, I suppose, on the back of all of this, you feel that at home, somewhere, somehow, you were let down.
I feel like that, Robert, and I don't think I'm the only one who feels like that. Maybe netball people might not be able to talk, but I think somewhere where they are sitting, they are feeling the same to say, home let us down. You can't go and win in London and never win at home. You cannot say a person is an Olympic medalist and they come home and we don't celebrate them. What are we saying? That's my question. What are we saying? People are going to the Olympics this year. When they come back, we are going to celebrate them. Springboks won the World Cup. They came back. We celebrated them. I'm just giving examples. People who win internationally must also be recognized as home. Complaining, I'm just saying that. Yeah. I'm not a complaining person. I will never be a complaining person, because I'm just saying things happen, situations happen, but we need to talk about it so people know. And if I'm wrong...
You can't disappear. Well, I'm sure you're not wrong. Cecilia, you're still there. There was a very high note where that ended, but I would have loved to hear how she wraps it up, because I would like to know where to from here, because she says it's a firmly held opinion that she is articulating right now on behalf of Netball South Africa. And her as the president of Netball, they say that is how she feels. So I think, she did say that She's back home. The network might let us down, but I think it's held up quite nicely. We've got all of 2 minutes left. Cecilia Molokwane, what's next? What do you do moving forward?
We do what we do best. We go and make a dream of a girl child come true. Complaining will never help you. Just do what God has assigned you to do. And that is what, changing the life of a player. And that's what we'll do. Keep on doing what we do best. Host what we have to host and do what we should do for a girl child. Awards is just something that rewards what you have done. And if it's not rewarded in heaven, it shall be rewarded.
If I made you meet face-to-face tomorrow morning the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, what would you say to him?
If I meet him, I'll say, Minister, I think you have made an omission of not recognizing netball, not to give them an award, but just to recognize netball on the night to say, you have done well, you have won an international award, you have won the Hollard Business Award, a lot of categories in there. You have done well, even though the competition was tight, but we need to recognize you as the women's sport that has done us proud in 2023 in hosting the biggest showpiece of netball in the world. That's what I would have said.
Were you at Sun City?
No, I was not there. We were doing our TNL. It was the last leg. We finished around 4-5. So one cannot leave their own. Unfortunately, it came, the date of the Sports Awards came as we have long planned for the TNL. You know, we plan in October for the dates. We planned them last year, so we couldn't change. It was staged at Ellis Park Arena.
And
you know,
and
Ellis
you
Park
finished quite
Arena.
late, yeah.
And we can finish quite late. So, and you won't leave your guests that we've invited to say, come. And you say, let me go there. It was a question of, but some of the netball people went. You saw Bongi there. Yes. There's some that went there. So I couldn't do that. And if I had the opportunity of going, believe you me, I would have gone.
Were you not invited?
No, I was invited. I'm not going to say I was not invited. I was invited. Remember, SASCOC invites every federation. So they invited us as SASCOC. As federations.
Have you spoken
like they do every year?
Have you spoken to the SASCOC president at all?
I haven't. Rob, I want to say I'm at peace. I just wanted to say what was done for netball as people are calling me. And for me to make this call is not about me. It's how people feel out there. And as the head of netball, I need to speak about it to say our netball family is not happy. It's true. People are not happy to say we cannot be recognized internationally and nationally on other things, but not even be recognized at home.
There'll be a round two to this. Cecilia Molokwane, I thank you so much indeed. You've articulated your point very, very clearly. We'll put it to the authorities that have been in charge of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. The Netball SA, maybe you give me your thoughts about what she has had to say. Do send me your WhatsApp voice notes in reaction to that. I mean, fiery. That is how I've always known the president of Netball SA, 060-708-0484. We celebrate excellence of a different kind. When we come back from the break, don't miss it. Kass Naidoo in studio.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time.
#MSW.
Deal or No Deal, the show that has given more than 5.5 million rand in prize money has a new home, SABC2. To play with me, Katlego, and stand a chance of winning up to 250,000 rand, go to dealornodealsa.tv to register and get a chance to change your life. Deal or No Deal, now on SABC2, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. with a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. and on SABC3 at 5:30 p.m. Proudly sponsored by Lotto Star.
Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
During winter, the chilling and numbing temperatures are not the only things you have to be brave in the face of. Often frosty weather brings with it miserable colds. Rely on Corenza Paris C for the relief from pain, fever, and blocked noses associated with colds and flu, and Expigen for the relief of cough. Brought to you in association with Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave, inspiring communities, one pharmacy at a time.
We weren't born to stand still. You know what I'm talking about. The itchy feet, constantly on the hunt for the next hustle, the next adventure, the next horizon. We get it. It's in our DNA. This inner drive to push, own our path, and be more. Which is why we're excited to introduce the all-new Suzuki Jimny 5-door.
The Suzuki Jimny 5-door, born for the urban jungle and more. Now with extra space, wireless connectivity, and rear-view camera. Suzuki Jimny 5-door, born for more.
At Specsavers, we're committed to offering affordable and professional eye care. That's why we're offering 1,500 Rand worth of savings with our winter promotion. Get a free frame up to the value of 1,500 Rand or use the 1,500 Rand on one of our leading lens enhancements. To qualify, simply purchase a comprehensive eye examination and prescription frame and lenses. Book online or call your nearest store today. Specsavers, for affordable eye care and a whole lot more. T's and C's apply.
30 years ago, South Africa stood as a beacon of democracy, determination and resilience. We fought for the right to live in a prospering country. But as we approach the 29th May elections, real freedom and equality for all remain painfully out of reach. And we stand at a turning point. What happened to accountability, transparency, and truth? This is our country's turning point. ENCA DSTV Channel 403.
It's Big Deal Wednesday at Food Lovers Market. Buy 7 creamy avocados for only 50 Rand. That's 7 avocados for 50 Rand. And enjoy whole fresh chicken at an incredible 49.99 per kilo. That's whole fresh chicken for 49.99 per kilo. Valid this Wednesday only at all Inland Food Lovers Market stores. The best in fresh, guaranteed.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Is the Magesi FC coach. He joins us live. Clinton.
What's the reasoning behind getting the guys who were playing, you were coaching at Summerfield Dynamos, Otafu, Dylan Makua, and Ngeti Van Dal into this project? What was the reasoning behind that?
You would have guessed, Clinton, that maybe people didn't watch Magesi, but here's somebody who shocks and surprises you.
Yeah, I want to thank Tabo as well. He knows quite a bit about our players, but and with regards to the players from Summerfield Dynamos, I agree that when you've worked with players before, you know exactly what they can deliver. Their skill set said to me that these players belonged at a higher level.
#MSW. #MSW.
I think her name was mentioned so many times in the previous interview that had nothing to do with her, that her ears must have been itching and her eardrum was bursting. It was like, okay, say nothing more about me. I am here, but you know what? This has got nothing to do with me. Hey, but guess what? Switch on that YouTube channel. Check out the award from the Weekenders here, right in front of her. And that's the exciting part of having to chat about somebody who's been so busy over such a long period of time that she's finally made it into studio. So get ready, guys, to be inspired, because that's exactly what she does, inspire the nation and the world. And today you're going to be embarking on a journey of empowerment and possibility. I mean, imagine being a young girl dreaming of breaking into the world of sports, and suddenly, boom, there's a beacon of hope, a trailblazer showing you it is possible. So that's the impact that our guest has had on all of us as South Africa's first female TV cricket commentator, just the age of 27. A lot happened even before that. I mean, she didn't just call the game, as they call it. She changed it. And with every single word spoken, every single barrier that was shattered along the way, she became a symbol of what's achievable. And with passion for both sports as well as social media, I mean, she's not only covered, 4 World Cups, but also spearheaded initiatives like the G Sport for girls, advocating tirelessly, though, for women in sports. All you got to do is just join us, dive into her remarkable journey, the legacy that she's building for future generations, and she's here in person. Kass Naidoo, good to see you. Welcome.
A Robert Marawa introduction. Do you understand what this means? It's like, you kind of maybe have arrived at a level, when you get an intro like that. What an absolute honor to be on your show again.
It's an honor to have you in person. It's an honor to have you post receiving that award. And I got to just say that, you know what, congratulations. Well deserved. Even I said on social media that it couldn't have gone to a better and more deserving individual. I still stick to my words because you are all of that and a whole lot more. Congratulations.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. I said to Andi Dengube, who's hosting on the night, I said, I'm great at giving out awards and recognition. And then I had to have the shoe on the other foot. And I had to go to Sun City to receive an award. And I really overthought it. And now I know what people go through when they come to the Momentum G Sport Awards, because I expect them to just own their success.
Yes.
But actually, it's about owning your story. And I think that what this weekend has really been about is accepting the journey, really. You know, I think I've been so busy, as you said, really busy, doing what I love. And when you do what you love, you don't think about it. And this weekend was just a little bit of a reset, like take a moment. And thank you to the Minister and the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. We'll celebrate our 10th year of our partnership this year at the Momentum G Sport Awards. So we've walked a long journey with DSAC. So yeah, a lovely full circle moment.
10th. But you're heading towards is it the 19th
yeah,
or the
so
20th
19th,
edition? It's crazy.
We had our first awards on the day we launched. So it'll be our 19th awards this year, but we're heading towards our 20th birthday in 2026. And yeah, I mean, wow, people ask me, if you had to choose, what would you choose? Would you choose cricket or would you choose women's sport? And I said, well, if I didn't have cricket, I wouldn't have women's sport, because when I saw it was possible for men, I said, I want to make that possible for women. So yeah, you can't have one without the other. And then I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rake and being married for 20 years and having 3 kids. So yeah, I'm a bit of a hot mess at times when I have to travel and be at home and do everything, but we keep it together.
All right. I saw the, corner of my eye. I see Rake is here. Rake marrying that I haven't seen in many, many years. You guys, you got married in 2004.
I think I have a picture somewhere. I must find it and send it to you, and we'll decide whether we want to post it. But anyway, Rob was at my wedding. I think you were on the dance floor as well.
Yeah, walk past it. Yeah, it was great just walking past the dance floor. But it's been fascinating seeing Danielle, Ella, Luke growing. I don't know when last I saw them. I just know that they probably be bigger than the last time I saw them physically. And what's that been like for you, being the mom, being away from home more often than you're at home?
It's an extreme sport. People say you have to choose. You know, when you become a mom, you've got to sacrifice your career because you've got to be at home. And I never thought that it's something I'd consider, because I was pretty alpha Kass. I mean, you know that. It was all cricket, like everything was cricket. And once I had Daniel, I fell in love with motherhood. And I'm so obsessed with my kids that there are times I turn down cricketers. Like I say to my agent, thank you so much, but my heart wants to be at home.
Yeah.
I want to go to the first day of school, and I want to be at cricket matches, and I want to do things with them. But then I also want to do cricket. So, we generally have family meetings, like mom's been called up. Okay, so we sit down. Is it the right thing to do? Can't you just do it from Super Sport? And I go, no, I can't. And I could sit in studio, but I wouldn't be able to commentate. And then there's always a debate.
Yeah.
And then we either choose or we don't. But my heart is always full, whatever the decision is. But it's hard being a mom.
But then it's also hard knowing that cricket's kept you on the road, but also kept your passion alive. Then you have Daniel. The last time I checked, I think he was also an aspiring cricketer. I don't know how far his cricketing journey is. I know that he shares a birthday with AB de Villiers, 17th of Feb. So that is a done deal, but is he going to become a Protea?
So this is the thing with my kids. All 3 are gamers, but the pact with Rake and I is that you've got to play sport, right? So they all 3 are swimmers. Daniel's still playing cricket. He's 15 now.
Oh, wow.
I know. Obsessed with basketball. I think every cricketer is either a frustrated NBA player or a footballer. Like they all want to be. They either want to be a footballer or they want to be a basketball player.
John T. Rhodes was what, a hockey player and
yes, exactly. And he was so brilliant at that shot because he played hockey. So Daniel loves his sport. But but the thing is, it's not about playing for South Africa. I think some of the things, when people say, oh, your son's going to play for South Africa, right? And I go, no, I want him to really enjoy it. He fell out of cricket at one stage, and he came home and he tested us, and he said, I don't want to play cricket anymore. And we had just bought new kit. Ooh. Everything was there. And I said, that's all right. What will you do? He said, I don't know. And so a few months later, he found himself, I think he was either watching like the WBBL or the IPL. Something happened. He picks up the bat and he asked his father to go to the net. And then he started playing cricket again. The pressure was off. So don't put pressure on your kids. If your kids are playing sport and you were a famous sports mom or man or woman, they have their own journeys. I think he's going to be a competitive gamer in the end. He says there's more money there.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess those are 2024 kids. These things were not even profitable back in those days. We would play Donkey Kong, and that would make sense.
Do you remember Donkey Kong? It was like the thing.
Donkey Kong, that was the thing. I don't know anything else. I mean, what they do now, you just see fingers quickly going through stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea. I remember 2018, you spoke of a dream. That dream was to go and commentate in India. Then guess what? I mean, you get called up and they say, Kass, this is about to happen. Not because of what you said back in 2018, but because your journey has led you to be more than just an ICC commentator, world-renowned, but somebody who has followed a career path that you cannot reverse right now. So fast forward, go back, whichever one you want to do. But the realization of that dream would have meant what to you?
In 2019, I thought it was all over because I thought I'd reached the end of it. And I was happy with that because that was a fulfilled career. By 2019, I'd achieved a lot and I was happy to just throw my heart and soul into G Sport. And I was like, cool. And then I got the call from Sky. And that changed everything.
And it's Sky, you're not just talking about any other, it's the Sky Sports.
But it was silly. It was like a DM on Twitter. So you always wonder, someone's in your DMs. But it was the head of cricket at Sky. And when the Sky door opened, it was a test. We're good in South Africa. We know that, right? We are seen to be at the top of our games. But what is it like when we go overseas? And that was the test. And the answer that I came back after doing 2 really amazing seasons at Sky is we need to improve the belief in ourselves rather than the skill level. It's, do we believe that we belong at that level? And when you're hosting a final at Lord's and you're looking around and you're like, all I wanted to do was visit Lord's, then I think that was the moment where I said, okay. And then when the World Cup came, I realized that this ball was rolling now. And, I've done now, I think, 3 ICC World Cups in the last 2 years. Which, again, if you told me you do 1 World Cup, and I did 4 for the SABC, which, again, when I look back, 17 years at SABC, it's the reason why I felt so comfortable when I had to make the step up.
But the step up, though, when you've told yourself you've reached the pinnacle, you're good, you're going to focus on G Sport, you want to grow other females to realize a dream that you had, and maybe it didn't fully come to its pinnacle. When you do bounce back, and you see that world open, and you see the respect, then you go back and your flash moments of how Robin Jackman would have guided you through, the teething years that you had as a commentator, as somebody who was out there on the field wanting to do post-match interviews. Does that then all fall back and say how worth it was? Because there's had to be a firm grounding for you. There's a discipline. The cricketing world evolved so much, Kass. The stats are ridiculous. Now you get stats over, even mundane things, but because you got to put them there, but which means that you got to be on top of your game all the time. So when you bounce back into that, what are you fearing anything? Or are you just saying, you know what? Wow, this is incredible. Let me go for it.
Always scared.
Never.
Always scared. Trust me. Robin Jackman, may his soul rest in peace. I miss him so much. He said to me, Lovey, when the butterflies are not flying in formation anymore, get out of the game. If you get up in the morning on a test match morning and you are not nervous, get out of the game. There was a time, I think, towards the end of my time at SABC, I wondered whether I still loved it. And maybe I was just going through a tough emotional time. But when I got to Sky, I felt renewed. I felt alive. I felt a sense of, ooh, this is a new beginning, but a new beginning with 15 years experience. Oh, this feels like I can now go whichever way I want to. But being grounded, I think the old timers will tell you that. Cloud nine is there and it will always be there. But if you can find the ground often enough, then you'll be able to, go a long way. Mm-hmm. But when you just get carried away or probably get drunk on your own juice, it's a tough one to keep grounded in this time.
But do you find that there's a different sense of appreciation that you get? Sky is all that it is. It's about sport at every level. It's about the best in the world at whatever sporting code there is. What would you say? What's the measure of how they would treat a professional like Kass Naidoo as opposed to maybe other experiences you've had that maybe made you start to doubt yourself if you were doing the right thing?
There's a feeling of excellence.
Yeah.
I can't describe it. When I walked in there was just, your level just reaches the level that is required. I feel that, and I look at the opportunity that I was given. It's why whenever I come back, I reach out to young women and I just want to give the knowledge, because I wish someone had done that to me, because when I went to Sky, I was so brand new. And I remember Brian Henderson said, mate, you've got 15 years experience. I said, that's not the point. It's not every day you get to debut on Sky. I've never been more scared in my life. I had never been more scared in my life. I was on the phone with my life coach and he says, why are you scared? I said, because it's happening. The thing you never thought would happen is happening. And he said, and how does it make you feel? I said, really, really nervous. But when I got onto the field at the Oval, it was my opening game, Nasser Hussain standing next to me and a young 18-year-old, Izzy Wong. And I looked at Nasser and I didn't realize he carried me through the whole build-up. The pros just know. And I walked up to him afterward and I said, Nas, thank you so much for holding my hand. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. You aced that. I was like, no, I know what happened there, because there were moments where there were those awkward gaps. It's like my first game. I just come out of quarantine. I had COVID. I had 10 days at Gatwick. It was a movie. Like when I got out there, it was like Freedom Day. I was out the quarantine, went to a briefing, got my earpieces, made my debut. That's how crazy it was.
But does it make it worthwhile when you look back at the family journey? Your mom's dad, I think it was back in 1910, at the age of 5, sailing through, coming to SA, all those days, from sea to land, all the different pilgrimages that mom then made, and also dad going back to find out the roots multiple times, and the kind of support that your parents had for your journey. And now when you reflect and you say, my goodness, you've lost them in your space. What are they thinking? How are they feeling? And how are they appreciating your success? I'll get the answer to that after this.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Checker 6060 delivers to all mothers everywhere. Spoils for mama because you love her. Let's go 6060. Gifts and flowers in an hour. Let's go 6060. Coffee maker, wrapping paper. Let's go 6060. Candles and sweets, brunch or lunch treat. Let's go 6060. 6060 wishes all mothers everywhere a happy Mother's Day. Let's go 6060.
And we would buy 500 cars, and we would buy 500 more. So sell your car for the best price, and we won't think about it twice. We buy cars, we buy cars. Da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-da-da. We buy cars, we buy cars. Da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-da-da.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Watch South Africa's newest cooking game show, Ready, Steady, Cook, in association with Mr. D. Mondays to Fridays at 7 p.m. Host, chef, and funny man, Mushendiki, sets the table as two home cooks take over the Red Tomatoes and Green Peppers kitchens and whip up a meal in 20 minutes, flat. It's a recipe for laughter. Catch Ready Steady Cook in association with Mr. D. Mondays to Fridays on S3 at 7 p.m. TV so good, you can smell and taste it.
In 500 meters, turn right. In 500 meters, turn left. Turn right, turn left. Make a U-turn, recalculating, turn right.
When your head feels all over the place, try Himalaya Mentat, the daily herbal supplement that helps the whole family manage stress, boost memory, and maintain a sharp and focused mind.
You have arrived at your destination.
Himalaya, the herbal expert since 1930.
Is this the soundtrack to your cat's health? Put the bounce back into their lives with the new Feline Cuisine Specialized Diet range. It's boosted with ingredients to help them with joint health, weight management, or hairball control. With this range, you can ensure your cat is perfectly healthy and happy. Put your cat on a Feline Cuisine Specialized Diet today because smart pets deserve smart food.
All packed and ready for the holiday, hubby. Nothing could go off track.
A lot could go off track, and quickly too, wifey.
Well, we have a few wise tips from iWise, like checking our tires, driving within the speed limit, and keeping our emergency roadside assistance details at hand.
What about a wise tip for when our car's parked at the airport?
We'll park in a well-lit area and keep our valuables hidden.
Call 0860 1108858 for a quote from iWise, the wise insurance choice. iWise is underwritten by Old Mutual Insure Limited, a licensed FSP and non-life insurer. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
As the Magesi FC coach, he joins us live. Clinton, it's been minus, it's been non-existent. Any interference in terms of your job, they've been just supportive. Is that true?
Rob, 1,000% true. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Our chairman quietly goes along with business behind the scenes. We do see him from time to time, but mostly on match days. But Rob, if I tell you that in the 15 months I've been here, there's been zero interference whatsoever from both my CEO and my chairman, and that is unheard of in South African football, in particular in the NFD.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
That's it. Just as we're talking of this partnership, a sharp catch breaks a promising partnership for South Africa, and unfortunately, Rossi van der Dissen has to make his way off the field.
Van der Dissen's got to go for 30. South Africa 80 for 3.
Glorious. Absolutely beautiful. For David Miller, 23rd career 50, to go with these 500s, 650 against Australia. Congratulations, David Miller. Out. The move has worked. Tim David comes in, he strikes with his first delivery, and this partnership is broken.
With 93 of 87, 2-1-2 for 5.
That partnership is broken. No, it hasn't been broken. It's been solidified right here in studio. That's why we're chanting to Kass Naidoo, G-Sport founder, international cricket commentator, with us right here on hashtag MSW. I saw you looking down. You're not able to listen to yourself.
Don't worry, Rake makes me do it all the time. He always says, sit down, here's a coffee, listen. It's so important to analyze and critique while appreciating the good ones. Pommy gave me a good advice. He said after every day on air, especially when you've had a bad day or a tough day, go home and think about 3 things that worked and then go into the things that didn't, because it's so easy to wrap up our little mistakes and carry it tour to tour. So that was nice advice. But it is always hard. I've always found my voice tough to listen to.
Hey, Mr. Mbangwa, thank you for that advice, man.
Robert Marawa, how are you, my brother? Kass Naidoo, how are you in the studio there? I just want to say congratulations for being a winner on the night, and you've been a winner always. I don't have many words, but congratulations. You know what, when listening to when you giving us a sport, especially a cricket one, it's like we are watching it live in our naked eyes. Congratulations. It's Moses Mokwena. Thank you.
Moses Mokwena, thank you very much indeed. Praises, and I think that's part of the journey, though. We want to motivate you and encourage you to do even more than you've done. I don't think that's possible, though, because you've scaled, the heights of success. Shigaga, also an ex, saying that, you know what, Kass Naidoo is one of the best female sportscasters who put our country on the map globally. And it's always humbling when you see the humility that she displays on the face of total success. May the Almighty God continue to bless you, daughter of the soil. So a combination of both those messages. How do you respond, Kass?
I'm grateful. The journey hasn't been easy, and you know that. There have been dips. I'm learning how to handle the low moments and the high moments.
Yeah.
The common denominator are people who consume the game. That's the reason why I do what I do, is the more people that feel included, especially those that have often felt excluded.
Yes.
If I can make one person feel as though they're closer to the game, then I feel like I've done my job.
Charles Chaba says that you got one of the greatest commentators, Kass Naidoo. Congratulations on the SA Sports Award winning over the weekend.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Kass Naidoo. Kass, I just want to firstly congratulate you on winning an award at the SA Sports Awards. Also want to thank the gentleman that is interviewing you there, because I believe he played an instrumental role in giving us and exposing us to the Kass Naidoo, the international accredited broadcaster. But my question to you, Kass, how much time does it take for one to prepare for these international tours in terms of understanding the players, the statistics, and everything relating to the tour? Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best. Tebogo.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. Key question.
Yeah, first things first, the guy who's interviewing me, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the guy who's interviewing me. I called you from New Zealand in February, because I had celebrated my 21st anniversary in cricket.
Right.
And I will keep saying thank you to you. And even though you would tell me that I know you've worked hard, I get that. But you know, Rob, success, the first part of that is access. And had I not had access to the great Mvuso Mbebe, had I not been taken by the great Robert Marawa through those very scary halls, if you didn't know the people there, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you for that. I will always be grateful.
I'm just grateful that you took what you always wanted to do back in 2003 at that Cricket World Cup, where I think everybody in that building looked and said, and I'll use the words, forgive me, hey? BCCSA. They're like, what's this chick doing here?
It was totally that. It was absolutely
what's
that.
What's this chick doing? What does she know about cricket?
Yeah.
It was those comments that in the back of my mind, when I walked away back to the studio where I was supposed to be, instead of, introducing you to the late Mvuso Mbebe, I just said in the back of my mind, they will be sorry for those comments because I have got more than full faith in what she will deliver. And when you took charge from being given a certain task to then elevating yourself based on your delivery to then being the anchor in studio all the way through to the final, which was not part of the program, which is not part of the schedule. You are not supposed to be there, but you are now making headlines. Sunday Times, front page, boom, Kass Naidoo was there. It was about your journey. South Africa had never seen this, ever. Unheard of. I don't have to go back and talk about the history of cricket in this country. Rugby has done tremendously well to try and close that gap. Yeah, but 2003, I think that foundation that was laid was something that you took upon yourself. And I give you the credit for doing that. And it's quite ironic, though, because we sit here in an environment where I look across and there's 702. And that's where you and John Robbie were making magic and you were doing the sport and John was, anchoring, as we all know.
John was being John.
John was being John, John Robbie. And, I mean, what a great human being, again. Sport, visionary, thinker, somebody who cross-questioned authority.
He's the blueprint. Oh, he's the blueprint.
John Robbie, you talk show host, you took it to a different level.
He did. And when everyone laughed, because they did,
And you
when
didn't
everyone
care.
laughed, he called me in and he said, I believe you can do it.
Yes.
I know you can. And it's because of John I was able to read a golf scorecard and those kind of things. And back to the question of how to prepare.
Absolutely.
John Robbie taught me how to prepare.
Yeah.
He was an absolute over-preparer. And particularly with cricket, when there's a rain break, I say you work the hardest than ever before. Normally it's a 30-minute stint, you get coffee and, you're good. But on rain days, you got to have more prepared. And John was an over-preparer. Yeah. And we used to say, you're so pedantic. But let me tell you, pedantic, you call me that. It's a compliment. I want to be John Robbie.
Greatness. John, I hope you get to hear that because, you also made some of us believe in talk radio. I've always said this. And I said, you know what, came to Joburg, try to find Radio Bob. Because that's all I knew was Radio Bob. So I go into the medium wave transmitter or frequency and I'm like, where's Radio Bob? We're 540. And then I hear these guys fighting at night. He was doing the 9 to 12 slot. And he's fighting is being called a bookie.
Yes.
And why are you dealing with this transformative South Africa? I was like, okay, well, maybe let's put this Bob radio on hold. I'm happy to listen to this. And that is how I got introduced into talk radio. And, I thought it was a great idea to then transform that later in life into talk sport, do exactly what, he was doing in terms of current affairs, but you do it for sport. So, hey, there's a link, there's a triangle somewhere. But at the end of this tunnel is Kass Naidoo that we celebrate.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Wilfillan here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders, and good evening to your guest there, Kass Naidoo. Oh man, congratulations on that award. Congratulations on your achievement. Congratulations on basically putting South Africa on the map, man. And as far as your incredible work is concerned, it is very much inspiring to see people take their talent and take them overseas and just express themselves in doing what they do, love what they do, and it is just absolutely incredible to see your wonderful work and your passion showing itself in the award that you achieved. So congratulations, Kass Naidoo. And it is very, very inspiring for a young person like myself to say, hey, it is very, very possible to take your talent out there overseas and be as passionate, love what you do, know your why type of situation. So it is very, very much inspiring, and hopefully we'll get to see many, many more accolades. But I know that this is the first of many. We are here to see the best of Kass Naidoo. Congratulations, and great show as always, Mr. Rob. Thanks.
Hulafalang, thank you so much indeed.
Sure. Wow. It's about the why. I mean, that was spot on, so spot on. Why do I do this? In 1992, I walked past the TV. I heard a beautiful woman commentate on international men's cricket. It was a West Indian called Donna Simmons. She united me through cricket, and I wanted to do the same for South Africa. When I see things like burning flags and all of that, it breaks my heart because as a teenager, as a 14-year-old, I just wanted South Africa to be together, the Rainbow Nation. And still, wherever I am around the world, when I get into the box, I smile for South Africa. I smile for the flag because had we not had unity, I would not have the rights that I have as a woman to advance the way I do. And yes, it's election season and politics, so don't tweet me and at me. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the love for our country that we have. And I'm still in touch with Donna Simmons, by the way. I know. And, the thing is, she doesn't get it. Like, I tried it. Yeah, Rob, I think it's so important to always go back. And I just said to her, had I not walked past at that moment with you on TV, I may not be here. There's so many moments in my career I go back and go, had it not been for that moment. It's like alignment, so beautiful.
Been from Donna Simmons to Kass Naidoo. Listen very carefully.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Wilfillan here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders, and good evening to your guest there, Kass Naidoo.
So that's how people appreciate her now.
Hello and welcome to the Reliance Cricket Ground here in Baroda. It's a brand new start for the Proteas women as they get the ODI series underway against India. It's a 3-match series starting today and ending on the 14th of October. The series sees the return of Marizan Kapp and Trisha Chetty as the team hope that these senior players bring in some brand new energy as they look to bounce back from the T20 International Series. Beautiful blue skies and a wonderful day's cricket lies ahead. Stay tuned to G Sport for all the updates from Baroda.
Oh, man.
Wow. That is like goosebumps. I mean, come on. Like what? Where are your people? Where's your CSI, Rob?
Yes. See, everyone here in the building's going crazy. They're like, yes, yes, yes.
That was such a defining tour. So you spoke about 2018. So I think cricket's over. I get into this delicious chat with Momentum, amazing corporate leaders, Nontokozo Madinsela and Charlotte Nsubugo Makasa at the time, and I'm busy selling G Sport to them, right? When they take the naming rights partnership, I say to Reg, I'm buying a ticket and I'm hopping onto a plane to launch the G Sport Global chapter. I don't know what that meant, really. I just knew that. Isn't it time to go to another country and shout for South Africa? Because we need to show them that we can do this. Yeah. And I was the only media person in this press conference. Natalie Germanos was on commentary. I was the only media person at the press conference from South Africa. And I said, I think it's time to close the gap between Africa and the rest of the world. Mm. And that is, I'm so grateful for a partnership like Brand South Africa, for instance, because if you're not elevated by these partners, you're basically just an island and you're nobody. So when Momentum, and now we're in our 6th year of partnership, when they elevated us and we elevated cricket, it's just like, it's that domino effect of success. So when you played that clip, I was like, oh, those were the tough days, the early ones, just before COVID, when COVID hit. Thank God we launched Global before COVID. Because once COVID hit, it was our best years ever.
Man. Tsepo, good evening.
Evening, Mr. Marao. How are you?
I'm very good. I've got very little time. I'm going to ask you to go straight to the comments, to Kass. Thanks so much for calling us, though.
All right. Thank you, sir. Evening, Kass. How are you?
Good.
Fine. Congratulations, firstly, on the award. I think you deserve it. You've come a long way. And you've really paved the way for other women in sports to also do cricket. But my question to you is, how does it feel like to always watch South Africa come so close in the Cricket World Cups and not winning it? Until today, they haven't won it.
Nice one, Tsepo. Listen on the radio. If it's not Duck with Lewis system that's tripping us up, it's a misunderstanding, run out there. But still, that tag, chokers, is unfortunately still floating around in the air.
The women broke the semi-final hoodoo in Cape Town, and I'm hoping that changes the whole thing. Can South Africa get past a semi-final stage at a World Cup? The thing about World Cups is they are beasts, and they own you from the moment it starts. Australia have shown that in order to be brilliant at World Cups, you're going to have won one first. I have a feeling, Rob.
Tell me about it.
When we have the first World Cup, we will win a few in a row, and I'm hoping it's our turn. I wouldn't mind this year.
You saying that from the depths and the bottom of your heart?
Barbados, 29 June. South Africa versus who? That will be fun.
Give us that final moment. Ladies and gentlemen, and South Africa are the...
Don't do it, because you know what? They already call me the partnership breaker. They say get her off commentary when Temba's batting. Listen, I'm the one to blame when South Africa lose wickets, World Cups. I've apparently cried in 2003. Rob, I'm just going to say...
Why do they say that?
Because, I was an emotional fan and I was young. But now I'm mature, I'm a professional, and I've learned how to wear the losses. But we are ready for a World Cup.
But they can't blame you for that. I mean, they just need to get their act together and just win a World Cup. It's as simple as that. You've earned your right to become the greatest commentator in the world. You've earned your right, whether you were crying or not crying. You've earned your right. So, hey, Proteas, tears or no tears. Steve Chwete cried in the first tour to India. And he said in his famous words, I never cried on Robben Island, but today I cry. So the tears will leave them there. And we'll say to Kass Naidoo, cry no more. Earn plenty, because you deserve it.
Absolute pleasure being here. You're such an absolute rock star.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.